This is the Kitchen Sink WP podcast, episode 260.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash. 404 error. Page not found. Links aren't working. System is crashing. System is crashing. System is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology. The technology.
Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. Next weekend, only one WordCamp. It's WordCamp Prague, February 23rd, and I'm going to be, no, I'm not going to be there. It looks awesome. I've never been to Prague. I've flown over it like twice, but never got to go. Anyway, so if you're going to go, have a great time. Let me know how it was. And that is it for upcoming events. Yeah, just one camp. All right, moving on. Segment one in the news. A couple of things here, not too much, but the team over at WPBridgade just patched a major security vulnerability in their plugin, Simple Social Buttons. And the reason I mention this is because they have a free version and a paid version, and I know people using this plugin, and I've used it in the past. 40,000 users use the free version, so it's a popular plugin. So they did actually just patch a security vulnerability. So if you're using that plugin, you want to go check that out and make sure you get the update to that as well. So thanks to the team at WPBridgade for taking care of their own piece of software. All right. Also in the news, tickets for WordCamp Raleigh went on sale last week. Are you coming? Are you going to come out to see me? It'd be awesome to have you. Tickets are selling pretty quick. We're down to, I think, 250, I guess, or I don't know. I'm not even sure. They're selling. So check it out. For the date on that, just so you know, it's the first weekend of April. So it should be pretty cool. What else? WordPress 5.1 should be out later this week, if that's that right. It's the 21st. I'm recording a day or so early than normal because I'm traveling. As you hear this, I'm already back. I should be back. Yeah, so this week, WordCamp 5.1 should be out on Thursday the 21st, which is pretty darn cool. So keep that in mind. And what else? Oh, one other little update here in the news, I guess. Quick update from last week's episode. I just actually interviewed somebody this morning to maybe hire to help me with some of my personal / passion projects, as well as maybe some client work, combinations. I'm not sure exactly where I'll put them. I'll probably try them out with a personal project. That way I can work on the client stuff and then maybe transition them into client so I can work back on my personal projects, if that makes sense. That way, sometimes you just have to try things out. And it's a gamble like anything else, but the interview went really well. So I will update on the podcast in the next few months as well, how that's going. So how things are growing there. All right, segment 2, meat and potatoes of this week's episode is a Q&A episode. That's right, it's been a while, so it's time for some questions and answers. Got 3 of them here for you. This first one, kind of a longer question. It's from Jeff. Yeah, from Jeffrey. And I know Jeffrey from WordCamps and whatnot, so I'm going to paraphrase his question. He's been a volunteer firefighter for 3 years, finishing up his first responder course over the summer. Now he's going to go into becoming a full-time firefighter instead of being an IT specialist as well. So his question is this. He really wants to get more involved in WordPress in the community. So he asks, he's on 24 hours off, and then 40 hours off, and month to month, it's just his scheduling is a question here, is a concern of his. So the question is, do you think it'd be a good idea to try to manage a meetup with the circumstances of his schedule being so wonky? How do others get interested in this? What kind of time commitment is there? His kids are young, 11 and 5. He doesn't want to be overwhelmed with being part of community. So if that makes sense. Okay, so it's awesome that he's going to become a full-time firefighter. Congratulations for that, first and foremost. And thank you for being a first responder. Second, the answer is, how much time does it take, is your question? Not too much, really. Initially, there's some time investment, maybe in just finding a venue that's consistent and ideally free. And then food, if you can have food at that venue. A lot of libraries are free, but you can't bring food in. So you need to find a restaurant or a co-working space. But then again, as far as free and food, you can also reach out to WordPress Foundation. They will pay for that or help you cover some of those expenses as well. So, and then, you can get a sponsor to cover pizza or some food and drink. A lot of hosting companies have done that for me in the past. So check that out as well. I would also highly recommend, to share responsibilities. Get a co-organizer, a co-lead, because if you're going to miss every other month, that's the consistency thing I've always talked about in the past. So you really want to have a consistent every month, third Thursday, second Wednesday, whatever it may be, have a meetup, whether you're there or not. But if you have a co-organizer, that will help a lot. And nothing wrong with doing that by any means. Just find someone that you trust and split duties on that, right? So, and then of course the format. So the format can take a lot of time. If you can present every month, if you can go into an hour talk, that can take time. So I personally prefer the general Q&A format. It's really easy. People ask questions. You put up 5 questions or on a big text edit document, and you answer them as the lead of the group. And then you open up the answers. If it's something you don't know about, you can ask the audience as well just to help out. You can tell what's going on in the community. You can share the latest versions of let's say, WordPress core. Not that hard. So total time per month, honestly, maybe the time of the meetup itself, which is maybe 90 minutes, maybe another hour. So I don't think it's too much time commitment-wise. And if it's every other month, I think it's very manageable, especially if you can share the responsibilities. So I hope that answers your question. And again, thanks for doing what you do. Awesome. Okay. Second question. This one is sent in by, I'm not sure who this one is, but the question is, I think I might have answered this, but I'm going to answer it again. How do I decide on which conferences to attend? Well, oftentimes I go with first and foremost proximity. How close is it to me? I always tend to go to WordCamps in my city of current living situation. When I lived in Los Angeles, I went to LA, San Diego, Orange County, San Francisco. The last year they had that. Missed a couple now that I moved away, obviously. After that, if I'm speaking at a camp, I'll go. I apply to speak, and I've traveled the country that way a lot. And then this year and last year, I'm pushing to go to camps I have not been to before, just to kind of get a different perspective and see a new city and meet new people. So that's how I kind of decide which ones I go to. So thanks for that question. And last question here. This one is by Jen. Oh, my friend Jen Miller. I just had a new client present me a Wix site for audit. I did the review and was surprised to find getting a large amount of traffic after analyzing the Google Analytics. As a consultant who actively promotes WordPress, I was hesitant to recommend a change since current results were going well. What would I do in this situation? Ooh, good question. I would lie and tell falsehoods. No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking. So I would be honest. I would just say, hey, look, this is what I found. Your stats are good. Your analytics are strong. You're getting traffic. I would then ask questions. I would see if there's anything else I could offer of value that would help them achieve their goals. Writing, SEO, whatever that may entail, whatever you specialize in. In Jen's case, it is writing and SEO. And then if it needs to be moved to WordPress, that would be the next logical step for me to help if I'm not in the Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, in those platforms. I would ask questions, any pain points. Do they like the current experience they have of maintaining their site on Wix, adding content? Does the site have all the functionality they need and want? If not, that's the opportunity to maybe move them over to WordPress. And this is what we specialize in, or what you specialize in, etc. I wouldn't force it. There's no need for that. There's plenty of other clients, so there you have it. So I would just be honest, completely honest, and say, look, your site's good, it's responsive, things are working. If you're happy, then great. Then you don't need my services necessarily, or maybe you do in a different way, but in order to use my services to the best way I can offer them, I use WordPress as a platform. So I think that answers the question. Just be honest. Okay, that is it for this week's questions. Yeah, that's it. Just 3 this week. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This week, the tool, it's Blisk, a browser for developers. Pretty darn cool. I've looked at the demo, downloaded it, started playing with it. It's a developer-oriented browser, provides businesses and developers the workspace to test things, mobile readiness, all these things. It's pretty cool. There's a free version and a paid version, of course. I have no connection to them, but I saw this in a Slack channel that I'm a part of, and it looks really cool. I mean, what are the prices here? The prices are, I'm curious. Does it say the prices? I don't know. No product. It's a blah, 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 blah. It doesn't say. It's not that expensive, but that's okay. Oh, here it is, prices. Sorry about that. $9.99 a month or $8.49 per month if you pay annually for one user, and it gives you some additional premium features. So there you go. Okay, Blisk, Blisk.io, or app.blisk.io is actually the domain. So there you go. No, blisk.io. It's very confusing. All right, check it out and enjoy that tip and tool of the week. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that SpeakPipe functionality on the website. If you want to support the show, you can become a Patreon, KitchensinkWP.com/Patreon, Patreon. You can sponsor the show, form on the website. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. Bye-bye. P.S. Happy early birthday to my youngest son, Carson. Happy birthday, buddy. Love ya. Dad.